Hello everyone. Now, in today's session, we are going to see the principles of planning. Okay, now we'll see one by one the principles of planning. Now, principles of civil engineering planning. An architect should prepare or engineer should prepare the plan according to the demand, the economic status, then the taste of owner, and also the purpose of the building is to be built, whether that building is residential or commercial. Okay, so depend on that the plan should be done, and that plan is done by engineer, civil engineer, or architect. Okay, and then the second point is the design of building should be compatible with the surrounding structures and weather. Okay, it should be compatible surrounding structures or available structures in that locality. Then the third point is sufficient ventilation should require. Okay, now design of building should be such that sufficient air and sunlight should be allowed to the building for a healthy building environment. Okay. Now the next point is your privacy should be maintained. Privacy must be maintained especially in residential buildings, and that planning should such that the privacy should maintain. Then next one is your proper security system. Proper security system should be introduced for a safety and reliability of your building, okay, or occupant. Then protect from fire. The fire safety alarms and firefighting material should be provided within the range of the inhabitant of the purposed building structure. Okay. Now, while talking about the public building, there should be fire system or firefighting equipments. There is one norm that if you are providing the G plus 6 RCC building or G plus 6 building, that is public building or residential building, you have to compulsory provide a firefighting system in that building. Okay, G plus 6 means your ground floor plus 6th floor. And next point is your value of structure should be maintained. Okay, the value of the structure should be maintained in the building plans. This is also important. So these are the principles of civil engineering planning. On these principles, we are going to plan the building. Now, principles of planning of a residential building. What are the different principles of planning for a residential building? We are going to see this. Okay. Now we'll see one by one. Now, first, planning of a building. Now, what is meant by planning of a building? It is a systematic arrangement of different building units as per the owner's requirement and as per the guidelines of the principles of planning of a building. Okay, I will repeat it again. What is meant by planning of a building? Planning of a building is nothing but systematic arrangement of different building units as per the owner's requirement and as per the guidelines of the principles of planning of a building. Okay, now guidelines are fixed by NBC, that is National Building Code. Guidelines are fixed by NBC, that is National Building Code, for a proper planning of a building. Okay, now the guidelines are as a principles of planning of a residential building. Okay, now what are these principles? There are total 10 principles. The first principle is your aspect, then second one is your prospect, then third one is your grouping, fourth one is your circulation, fifth one is your privacy, sixth one is your roominess, seventh one is your furniture arrangement, or generally you can say it as a furniture. Then sanitation, then elegance, and last one is your economy. Okay, so these are the 10 principles. On that basis we'll do the planning of a residential building, right? Now we'll see one by one what is meant by aspect. Now first principle is the aspect. Okay, now listen carefully what is meant by aspect. It is the skillful arrangements of doors and windows in an external wall of a building. It is skillful arrangement of doors and windows in an external wall of a building, such a that or in a such a way that occupants enjoy the natural gifts like sunshine, then breeze and scenery. Okay, it is depends on a climatic conditions of a sun and wind and rain. Okay, in a different regions for a different seasons. Okay, it is totally depend on a climatic conditions. Now it is primary consideration determined. The primary consideration is determined by positions of doors and windows in an external wall of a building. Okay. In aspect and prospect, positions of doors and windows on an external wall of a building. In a building, there are two types of wall. One is your external wall, and second one is your partition wall. Partition walls are inside wall, okay, which are generally used for it to separate rooms or units of a building, and external walls are your protected walls which are exposed to the nature, okay, outer side of your building, okay, and on that exposed wall you are providing doors and windows for a such a purpose that the occupants can enjoy the sunshine, the breeze, and scenery. These are the natural gifts, and sunshine, breeze, and scenery is depends on the climatic conditions. Okay. Now there are three weathers: summer weather, then winter weather, and rainy season. Summer season, winter season, and rainy season. Okay. And these seasons are vary location to location. Right. Now we'll just see the two diagrams, that is sun diagram and wind diagram. What is the uh, position of a sun? Now see, this is the sun diagram. I have given the directions here: east direction, west direction, south and north. Okay. Now the generally sunrise is in India. The sunrise is at east. Okay, and sunset is at west direction. Okay, now in normal seasons, that is winter and rainy season, the sun path is like that. Sun is travel from east to west, so the light yellow color portion is your sun path region in a normal weathers, that is winter and rainy season. And in summer season what happen, the sun path is somehow longer, means the you can say that in winter and rainy season generally sunrises is at 6 or 6:30 a.m. in the morning, and sunset is at 6 or 6:30 in the evening. Okay, and in summer season, what happen? Sunrise is at 6 or 6:30 in the morning, and sunset is at 7 or 7:30 in the evening. Okay, so the day is longer. Okay, so you can take maximum advantage of sunlight in summer season. Okay, now on this basis, generally the different building units are situated. Okay, now there are some basic units in your residential building is your living room, that is your hall, then kitchen and dining, then your master bedroom, then bedroom, then staircase, okay, then toilets, okay. So and study room. These are some basic units, okay. Now generally the maximum usage of these units first is your living room and kitchen, okay. So you can stay maximum time in these units, kitchen and living room, okay. And generally bedrooms are used for a to taking a rest purpose, okay, at the night time only, maximum in the night time. Then staircase is only used for your circulation purpose, that is only vertical circulation, which is rarely used. Okay, so the maximum natural light is used in your living room and kitchen, right? So the kitchen and living room should be such that it should be situated between east to west region, right? So you can take the maximum sunlight in living room as well as kitchen. In kitchen is generally used between east to south region because you can kill the germs present in your kitchen due to the UV rays present in the sunlight, right? And see here wind diagram. Okay, the normal condition in a normal season, the wind direction is from southwest to the northeast in this direction. Okay, and only in summer season the wind direction is from west to east. Okay, so wind come from this direction and goes to the northeast direction. Okay, so your bedrooms are in a such a positions that you can use the natural breeze in your bedroom, so it becomes cool. Okay, so your bedroom is or living room is provided between the living is provided between the southwest. Okay, so the natural wind is coming in your living room and it goes outside, and bedrooms also is provided at a west region, north to south region. In this region you can provide your bedroom, so the natural wind or breeze is coming to the bedroom and it goes from this side. Okay, and the sanitary units, that is toilets and bathrooms, are generally provided on in this direction, north to east direction. Okay, so the due to the natural breeze, breeze and wind, the wind is coming in your toilet sections or sanitary units and it goes outside. So the unpleasant odor in your toilets is go outside. Okay, so for that purpose we are providing the toilets between north to east region. Okay, and staircase is generally provided in a north region. Okay, so you can use the scattered light option during while using the staircase, and study room is also provided in north region. For a study room you will not require a bright light, you will require scattered light, so the study room is also provided in the north region. So these are some basic arrangements of different units of a residential building. Okay, so this is the sun diagram and this is the wind diagram. Now next one is your prospect. Okay, now listen carefully what is the prospect. It is the arrangement of windows and doors in an external wall, or it is the arrangements of windows in an external wall which allows inside viewer to enjoy the outside pleasant view like a garden scenery. At the same time, it cancels the undesirable outside views. Okay. Now, in aspect what arrangements of doors and windows in external wall such that the occupant can enjoy the natural gifts. Okay, okay. But in perspective, it is the arrangements of doors and windows in external wall such that the viewer inside can enjoy the outside pleasant view. Okay, so that view is natural or you can make it artificial. Okay. Similarly, you can avoid the unpleasant view outside unpleasant. Now, the primary consideration for determining is positions of doors and windows in external wall of building. Okay, it is decided by view to design. It is decided by views derived by occupants from certain part of a building. Okay, means suppose outside of your living room there is a river, so this is one beautiful view. Okay, so your arrangement of windows should be such that the inside viewer can enjoy that your river view. And some also there is one on outside there is one sewer line, so you can avoid that view, that is unpleasant view. Okay, so your window arrangement should be such that sewer line should not be visible from your living room. Like that, you have to arrange your doors and windows. This is the perspective. So third one is your grouping. It is arrangement of different rooms according to their functions. Okay. Now, all rooms should be grouped in such a way that persons passing from one room to another room should feel inviting and encouraging. And the next one is your grouping considers the functions of various units along with their the interrelation in a building. So that should be maintained in the grouping. Okay. Now, one example for grouping is your kitchen and dining. Okay. So kitchen and dining are connected to each other. Okay. So their function is connected to each other. So you have to keep dining beside your kitchen. Okay. Otherwise, if you are providing kitchen on a ground floor and dining on first floor, there will not be any purpose, right? So these units should be kept aside. So kitchen and dining should be kept aside of each other, and staircase should be accessible from every room that you have to provide it at a central place. Such type you have to do the grouping. Next one is your circulation. Circulation means access from one room to another room or from one floor to another floor. Okay. Now there are two types of circulations. One is your horizontal circulation and second one is your vertical circulation. Horizontal circulation means it is movement on a same floor, like from room to room or within the same room. Okay, and second one, it can be provided by using passages, then veranda and corridors, then lobbies or hall, etc. Okay, by this means you can do the horizontal circulation. Now, desirable horizontal circulation has straight, short, and independent passages. Now next one is your vertical circulation. Now what is the vertical circulation? It is the movement from floor to floor, means from one floor to another floor. Vertical movement. Okay. So it can be provided by stair, then lift, then elevators. Okay. Desirable vertical circulation requires stairs easily accessible from entrance and various rooms. So this is about the vertical circulation. Now next one is your privacy. Okay. Now what is meant by privacy? Privacy means keep secrecy of building from a surroundings. Okay. Now there are two types of privacy: external privacy and internal privacy. Now it is provided by keeping the windows at a high level from outside the road or ground and by growing the plants and trees outside the building. So this is the external privacy. The internal privacy means it can be provided by curtains, then shelter, then shutters and partitions. So you can achieve the internal privacy like this. Okay. Now privacy can be obtained by both internal and external. I will say again one some points. Privacy can be achieved by first one is your correct positions of doors and windows. Okay. Then provide curtains on a windows and doors. Then also provide windows at a high level from a ground. Then provide separate entrance to every room. Then non-transparent glasses fitted to a window and partitions. Okay. By this means you can achieve your privacy. Next one is your luminous. Now luminous, it is apparent feeling of a spaciousness or extra space created by the shape of. Okay. Luminous is the apparent feeling of a spaciousness or extra space created by the shape of room. It, it is provided by minimum dimensions of room by proper shape and arrangement of doors and furniture in it. Okay. Rectangular rooms are felt generally larger than a square type of rooms for a same area. Now the luminosity depends on the dimensions of room. Okay, so the length, breadth, and height of room. Then also positions of doors and windows. Then color system of room. Generally, bright colors gives this spacious room. Okay, you feel spacious in a bright color rooms. And there is one relation between length and breadth while designing the room. The length to breadth ratio should not be greater than 1.5. Okay, means if you are providing 5 meter length or 6 meter length, then your bed should be minimum 4 meter. Okay, that should not be less than 4 meter. Means 3 meter length and 6 meter length room means your aspect ratio means length by b is your 2. Okay, so it is exceeding, right? So you can provide minimum 4 meter width and 6 meter length, that is 1.5, and above that 4 meter you can provide 5 meter or 6 meter also, means 6 by 6 room, 6 by 5 meter room, 6 by 4.5 meter room, 6 by 5.5 meter room, or 6 by 4 meter room. These are ideal sizes of room. Okay, if you are providing 6 meter by 3 meter means your real by b ratio is greater than 1.5, that is 3 meter. That is not a ideal room. Okay, so keep in mind this point. Then next one is your furniture arrangement. Furniture requirement and their sizes can be predetermined by considering the type of building, their functions of different rooms, and maximum number of persons using that room. Okay. The sizes and shapes of different rooms can be planned to provide sufficient space around the furniture for a easy movement. Then the next point is furniture arrangement is determined by positions of doors and windows. The next one is your sanitation. Okay, in sanitation there are three parts. One is your light, then ventilation, and third one is your sanitary units. Okay. Now what do you mean by light? Light is necessary for illumination and destroying the germs in rooms. UV rays of a sun kills the germs. Okay, lighting can be improved by applying light colors on your wall. Okay, there are two types of lights. First one is your natural light, okay, which is come from your sun, and second one is your artificial light. Okay, and third one is your combined light, natural light plus artificial light, that gives you a combined light. Okay, so these are the three types of lights. Then next one is your ventilation. Ventilation, it removes the respiratory hot air, then foul air, then bacteria and unpleasant odors, and brings cool and fresh air in your room, that is oxygen in your room. So this is the ventilation. Okay, so there are also two types of ventilation: natural ventilation and forced ventilation. Natural ventilation means the breeze or wind coming in your room naturally, or you can take it by forcefully. Okay, means by using wind. You can use the exhaust fan, right? Then ventilators, AC, you can provide it. So this is your forced ventilation. Okay, and next one is your sanitary unit. Now sufficient bathrooms, then urinals, then toilets, lavatories, latrines, water closet, then dustbin should be provided to remove the garbage and unhygienic matter from your living place. For that purpose, you have to provide sanitary units. Okay, and that sanitary unit should be sufficient for your building. The next point is your elegance. It is effect produced by elevation and general plan of a building. Elegance means effect produced by elevation and general plan of building. Okay, it is aesthetic of a building. It is feeling of a beauty and luxurious in appearance of a building. How your building is appearing, its beauty and its luxurious feeling is called as a elegance. Okay. A good elegance and appearance of a building attracts person who can enjoy the use of building satisfactorily. Okay, so this is about the elegance. And the last point is your economy. So it is the deciding factor in a planning of a building. Okay, as per the financial conditions of your owner. Okay, it is deciding factor in a planning of a building as per the financial conditions of owner. Then aspect and circulation should not be ignored for a economic purpose, but prospect can be slightly neglected to get a economy. Okay. Now we have seen the uh, first principle of planning is your aspect, then prospect, then also we have seen the circulation. Okay. So while achieving the economy, you have to compromise in prospect. You can compromise in prospect, but you should not be compromising aspect and circulation, right? To get an economy in your building. Okay, so there are some ways to achieve economy. How we achieve the economy of building? The first one, by using material from a local market. You have to use only locally available material. Second one is your by using simple fixtures of doors and windows. You have to design simple doors and windows. Then by making simple designs of a doors and windows. Okay, you can also use simple material for doors and windows. Then height of story can be reduced minimum up to 2.75 meter, means floor to floor height. Generally we kept 3 meter in a residential building, okay, but that can be reduced up to 2.75 meter, okay. And you should not be reduce the height of a building or a height of a floor below 2.75 meter. It is minimum required to provide 2.75 meter height of for a your one story or a your one floor. Okay. Next, how you will achieve the economy? By systematic planning of a construction. Then and then only you can achieve your economy. Okay. So with this, I will stop here. Thank you. So this is about the principles of planning of a residential building. Thank you.